I'm talking about here with these season point standing. Let's take a look. With 865 points in first place, coming into the final round of 2022, the number 24 of Spencer Love. 50 points behind him in second place with 815 total points to 17 of Dylan Anderson. And then 767 points for the 8 of Jeremiah Mayo sitting in fourth. 720 points by the 52 of Chris Rinker, who sits in that fourth position. Jeremiah up in third. The fifth position, the 03 of Dustin Terry. Sixth, the 77 of Mike Quindazzi. Seventh, the number 20 of Ashton Rinker, was unable to be here this weekend after the damage sustained as he lives just outside of Tampa, that hurricane. Hope Ashton and the team are doing well back in the Siesta Key, Tampa area, and all the rest of our drivers that are in that area that had to stay back and take care of their homes after that nasty hurricane rolled through. Eighth, 94 Rusty Wyatt. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Carnage champion. 1 minute drivers, 1 minute. Will the 17 of Dylan Anderson be able to run this thing wire to wire? Can he possibly win the series title and the Lake Havasu Classic? 50 seconds, drivers, 50 seconds. Or will the 94 of Rusty Wyatt play spoiler for both him and the 24 of Spencer Love, and he comes out here and wins the Lake Havasu Classic? 40 seconds, drivers, 40 seconds. Or will our series points leader coming into this weekend's race be able to hold on and capture that series championship? 30 seconds, drivers, 30 seconds. Or will it be the 8 of Jeremiah Get Out of My Way Whale, or the 52 of Chris Rinker, the 03 of Dustin Terry, the 91 of Kyle Maskell? Let's crown a champion at the 2022 Anderson Lakes Lake Havasu Classic. 20 seconds, drivers, you're under starters orders. He drops the flag and they come roaring off the beach. Rough jump there by the 03 hanger, 24 of Dustin Terry, but a great jump by the 94 of Rusty Wyatt as he goes side by side with the 17 of Dylan Anderson. Oh, they get all wadded together. The 8 of Mayo gets taken out there. Oh boy, the 24 of Love has to go way wide to the outside. That is not what he needed to see happen there, as he almost got squeezed out coming down into turn number 2. As we now start lap 1, as we come across the start-finish line, our pole sitter, the 17 of Dylan Anderson's got it strolling here in the final, followed by the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. Then the 52 of Chris Rinker, and then there's the 03 of Dustin Terry way wide to the outside, sitting in fourth position. Great run there for the Hangar 24 with that APX 200 4-stroke Mercury Competition V6 outboard on the back, brand new for 2022. There's this 52 of Chris Rinker sitting in third. Oh no, the 17 of Dylan Anderson goes dead in the water. Our leader goes dead in the water on the second lap of the main event, and his season is ruined. On the lap number 2 of the main event of the final race of the season, he goes dead in the water inside of turn number 4, and our new leader is the young man of Ontario, Canada, the number 94 of Rusty Wyatt. There's the 52 of Chris Rinker, and then behind him is the 03 of Dustin Terry and his teammate, the 24 of Spencer Love. Boy, that was just a huge turn of events here in the Formula One class. 50 points separated Spencer Love and Dylan Anderson. Dylan was on the pole, and he had it. And the motor went away just 2 laps in. There's our leader, this 94 crystal clear wiper blades of Rusty Wyatt, trying to bring some hardware back north of the border to Canada A there, don't you know? And he's pushing hard, but he's got a rearview mirror full of the 52 of Chris Rinker and the 03 of Dustin Terry. Could we see an APX on the podium here in Lake Havasu? Could that brand new Mercury motor have made such strides that we're going to see that thing end up on the podium? What an unbelievable turn of events that would be. There's the 93 of RJ West sitting in 5th position, getting by the number 77 of Mike Quindazzi, who now gets pushed back to 6th place as they run out of the south end of the course down through turn number 4. Go wide out of turn number 4, trying to take that chicane out. Turn 5 as they get across the start-finish line. There's the 93 of RJ West. He crosses by, 14 minutes remaining, plus 1 lap here in this main event of the Formula One class. Who is going to be our champion? Will the 94 of Rusty Wyatt be able to redeem himself after going dead in the water 15 laps in Highlands, Texas, when he was looking at a podium finish? He needs that redemption song here in Lake Havasu. Can he pull it off with that bright orange trim on that all-white Moore designed hull built in France with crystal clear wiper blades on the side? as he's got it cruising. There you see the dejected 17 of Dylan Anderson, the young man out of Nashville, Tennessee. And that is what can happen in racing, ladies and gentlemen. You do everything the right way. You check every bolt. You do everything properly. Something happens. That motor went away, and he doesn't even get a chance to compete for that title here as he gets to watch the rest of this main event from the infield on the north end of the course. Our leader, the 94, Rusty Wyatt, now coming out of turn 4, liking to slide it wide. They're trying to take that turn 5 out of the course. They're trying to go so wide out of 4 that they don't have to turn the boat again through the chicane on the front stretch of the course. Now our leader comes down into turn 1, sets it well into turn 1. The 52 of Chris Rinker doing a great job after having his boat damaged significantly. Team spent till 5 o'clock in the morning working on that thing. And I cannot believe the 03 of Dustin Terry and what he is doing right now. He's sitting in 3rd place, and he is pulling away from the 24 of Spencer Love. This could be a historical moment here on the Formula One Powerboat Championships. We could have a new winner, not a Rinker, which is always good for our Formula One class. And we could also see an APX make the podium for the first time ever. But if the 24 of Spencer Love has anything to say about that, he's going to try to find a way to catch his teammate, the 03 of Dustin Terry. There's the 52 of Chris Rinker. An impressive run right now if he can hang on to this 2nd place here in the Formula Lights main event. You can see there he's just 2.74 seconds behind our leader, the 94, Rusty Wyatt. He's got to go way wide to the outside to get by the 99 of Travis Yates as that issues continue after damage sustained yesterday between those two. You can imagine the 52 of Rinker is trying to stay as far away from the 99 of Yates as possible after they got together in qualifying heat number 2 yesterday late in the day. He able to get by him, clear him, and now continue to move on to try to close that gap between the 94 of Rusty Wyatt and the 52 of Chris Rinker. Wyatt continuing to push hard, the orange nose and lid on that French-built Moore composite hull. Could this be the first win for a Moore hull here in the United States? Lots of firsts here from a lot of European boat builders after their boats being brought to the stateside in Formula Lights. Tyler Peterson brings that Danish Molegard Formula 4 over to the United States, puts a Formula Light rig on it, and runs that thing to victory here after almost blowing it over now here in Formula 1. The 94 Rusty Wyatt trying to bring the first victory on U.S. soil for the Moore-designed French-built hull. There's the 24 of Spencer Love. He's sitting back in 4th position, and he just does not seem to be able to have an answer for his teammate, the 03 of Dustin Terry. I mean, I know that those 4-stroke APX 200 Mercury competition motors have a ton of top-end power, but boy, he has got that thing figured out already because he is absolutely screaming out here. The 52 of Chris Rinker, almost 5.5 seconds behind our leader, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, but the 03 of Dustin Terry is starting to close some ground. He's only 4 seconds behind the 52 of Chris Rinker. 2 laps ago, he was almost 6 seconds behind him, so he's starting to close that gap. Will that APX motor maybe even be able to get second? What an amazing turn of events that would be. You'd have a lot of Mercury engineers that are intensely watching this race, keeping their fingers crossed and hoping everything stays together for the 03 of Dustin Terry, because they would love to see that 200 APX competition outboard get on the podium here in Formula One racing in the United States. There he is, the 03 of Dustin Terry, that Hoffman-designed hull with the APX 200 on the back. We see here running out, that's the 24 of Spencer Love getting by the 99 of Travis Yates. Spencer Love 8 seconds off the podium. Can he catch his teammate, the 03 of Dustin Terry? Boy, that lead's looking pretty big and looking pretty difficult as our leader, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, starts to get into some of those back markers. He's going to have to navigate down into the corner. He goes tight to the inside. Leaving in room is the 09 of Whitney Terry Fletcher. He pops it back on its tail out of the turn number 1, and he is grooving here on the shores of Lake Havasu. There's the 52 of Chris Rinker. He's got to be ecstatic with where he sits right now, considering what happened yesterday. They didn't even know if they were going to be able to get that boat on the water, and here he is fighting for a podium spot. There's the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, tight to the inside. Now he has a back marker on the outside, so he has to stay tight, which means he's got to turn a little bit through turn 5, that chicane on the front stretch before he crosses the start-finish line. Now he's got him lined up down into the corner. What's going to happen here? The 94 of Wyatt goes down to the inside, and the 15 of Tim Kraft lets him go by to allow the 94 to continue to push and try to hold at bay the 52 of Chris Rinker, who continues to push hard, but we got a battle. The 52 of Chris Rinker has got some competition on his hands as the 03 of Dustin Terry is starting to close that gap. As we see here, the 03 of Dustin Terry, who's sitting in third, only 1.55 seconds behind the 52 of Rinker there. They're in the same view there now. They weren't just a couple of laps ago. You better watch out, Chris Rinker, because here comes Dustin Terry. Terry come down the front straightaway, wide to the outside, trying to use the top RPMs and that raw power of that 4-stroke APX 200 V6 Mercury competition outboard. Is the new day upon us for the 4-stroke to start its ascent to the dominance of Formula One powerboat racing in the United States? We got a lot left to see, but boy, this is real good things for Mercury Racing as that APX motor continues to get better. Now here goes Terry. He can't go tight to the inside. He's got to slide it wide to the outside. He's in the dirty water of the 70 of Jude Gaspard, who's now a lap down, but we have got a battle brewing for second and third here. What's going to happen between the 03 of Dustin Terry and the 52 of Chris Rinker? Our leader, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, way out in front. Now just trying to put that thing in cruise control, but we could possibly see a change of hands here as they battle for second and third. The 52 of Rinker now gets through. Turn number 2, down the back stretch he goes. Down to turn number 3, side by side with one of the back markers. That's the 70 of Jude Gaspard. He goes to the outside. Now here comes Terry. He tucks it down tight to the inside. That's a tough line for that APX. He's now going to have to go through the wash as he holds right off the left sponsor and dives through the wash back to the outside so he can set up his turn. He seems to make up a lot of ground here on the front straightaway, but this turn has really been a tough one for the 03 of Dustin Terry. There's our leader, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, continuing to be in cruise control mode out there in first place. He's got Mark Major, family member and ex-Formula One driver, on the radio telling him, stay wide, stay clear, you got tons of room. Don't get into traffic in the corner. If you have to, wait till you get out of the corner. You've got room. Oh, look, he gets squirrely there. That's what I was talking about. He's lining up the 91 of Kyle Maskell, the young man out of Chilliwack, British Columbia, who's lost his rear cowling on that 91 machine. You can see he's got no rear cowling there as they go through the turn 2 on the back stretch. And the 94 of Wyatt will slide wide to the outside, just trying to find that clean water. They now go down through turn number 3. And now back across the start-finish line. Here comes our leader, the 94. 6 minutes plus 1 lap remaining here in this main event in Formula One. But look at the 03 of Dustin Terry. The battle continues. He goes wide to the outside. We got a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen, as the 03 of Dustin Terry refuses to give up and continues to push that APX 204-stroke Mercury machine to the limit. Oh no, he spins out down at turn number 1. Oh no, Dustin Terry, he spins out in turn number 1 and he had down to less than a second between him and the 52 of Chris Rinker, but thankfully he had enough room over himself and his teammate, the 24 of Spencer Love, to hang on to third place. But boy, that battle we had going on for second is now gone. That's so frustrating for the 03 of Dustin Terry because he knew that motor had it. I just don't know in 5 minutes if he's going to be able to make up the ground he lost with that mistake down in turn number 1, but he's going to give it everything he can. He's got that thing pushed to the limit down the front stretch to try to catch the 52 of Chris Rinker. As our leader, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, comes across the start-finish line, logging another lap, 5 minutes, 23 seconds, plus 1 lap remaining here in the Formula One main event. Will the 52 of Chris Rinker be able to hold off the 03 of Dustin Terry, or will he be able to make up that room? He's got a bunch of back markers going down to the corner. Terry might have one last gasp here in the final 5 minutes. There's the man leading the points coming into this round, the 24 of Spencer Love. He's just trying to stay out of everybody's way because I believe with a 4th place finish after the 17 of Dylan Anderson died down in turn number 3 on the north end of the course, he will be your 2022 Formula One Series champion here on the Formula One Powerboat Championship Series. Boy, the 52 of Chris Rinker just cannot get by the 99 of Travis Yates, and that could spell disaster long term because the 03 of Dustin Terry is slowly gaining ground as he gets by his sister the 09 of Whitney Terry Fletcher, but our leader, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, continues to pick off back markers, seemingly with ease here on the shores of Lake Havasu. He sets it wide out of turn number 4, taking that chicane out as he now eyes up the 77 of Mike Quindazi, as Quindazi frantically tries to stay on the lead lap in that buckshot cleaver machine. There's the 15 of Tim Kraft and the 99 of Travis Yates. The 52 of Chris Rinker is able to get by him there, wide to the outside, but it was slow going down there at the far end of the course for the 52 of Rinker, and here comes Terry. He continues to charge down the front stretch. There you can see him in the bottom of the screen. At the top of the screen, we've got the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, our leader, pushing hard down the back straightaway. As our leader slides it out of turn number 4 and through the chicane, which is turn 5, and across the start-finish line, he logs another lap, continuing to push. He's got a monster lead over the 52 of Chris Rinker. We got to be north of 10 seconds by now. The 52 of Chris Rinker well north of 10 seconds. Here comes the second place boat, just crossing the start-finish line now. That is Rinker's laying down a faster time of the 33.72, so he's gaining some ground, but he's 14 seconds off the pace of our leader. 14-second lead for the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. And the 03 of Dustin Terry's not running as fast a laps as the 52 of Chris Rinker, and that's the last thing he needs to see, as he's 4 seconds behind the 52 of Chris Rinker with only 2 minutes, 54 seconds plus 1 lap remaining here in this main event. Can he catch him? He's got to go wide to the outside. There's Rinker cruising through that all-yellow Rinker Boat World French-built Moore hull. And here comes the 03 of Dustin Terry just crossing now. He's now 5.13 seconds, so the lead grows for the 52 of Rinker, who's trying to hang on to second place. And all the 94 of Rusty Wyatt has to do is find some clean water, stay out of the way of some of these back markers, and make sure he brings that thing home in one piece. And he will be your Anderson Toyota 2022 Lake Havasu Classic champion, and bring in some hardware back north of the border to Ontario. As our leader Wyatt now goes down very smartly, stays tight to the inside, steers clear of any of the back markers as he's able to get by the 09 of Whitney Terry Fletcher. And now he's lining up the 8 of Jeremiah Mayo. It looks like he started 4th, but that damage sustained to the rear transom of that boat looks like it might finally be coming apart on him, and he just can't push it like he wants to. There's the 24 of Spencer Love, your points leader, potentially your series champion here for 2022, as well as our leader. He's just trying to stay on the lead lap. Our leader is trying to lap the 4th place and 5th place boat, but Spencer Love better watch out because the 93 of RJ West is right on his heels. Where is the 52 of Chris Rinker? He's down the front straightaway. The 03 of Dustin Terry just doesn't look like he's going to be able to make up from that mistake down in turn number 1. And our leader, the 94 of Wyatt there, he's got the buckshot 77 of Mike Quindazi in his sights. Quindazi frantically trying to hang on to the lead lap as he sits in 6th position. Can he do it here in the remaining minute plus 1 lap of this main event? I know he would love to stay on the lead lap. Oh, look out there. It looks like the 52 of Chris Rinker got squirrely. We got a dislodged buoy out there on the race course. The 03 of Dustin Terry takes it out. We lost turn 4 down there somewhere. I don't know what happened, but we've got 1 minute remaining plus 1 lap. We've lost a buoy here, and that's going to shorten the course on these last 2 laps. Could that be what the 03 of Dustin Terry needed? I don't know. We've got 43 seconds remaining plus 1 lap. Our leader just crossed the start-finish line one more time, logged another lap, continuing to push hard, but he cannot get by the 77 of Mike Quindazi. There's the second place boat, the 52 of Chris Rinker. Pushing hard there is the 94 of Wyatt. You see the drone camera flying right above ahead. That 77 buckshot machine's giving him an earful as he refuses to lay down and die and just forcing himself to hang on to that lead lap. The 52 of Chris Rinker sitting in 2nd position. There is the white flag. Go fast, turn left. Just 5 more times to the man out of Ontario, and he will be your 2022 Anderson Toyota Lake Havasu Classic champion. Here comes our 2nd place boat, the 52 of Chris Rinker. And then our 3rd place boat, the 03 of Dustin Terry. Now, I didn't see who dislodged that buoy. We have other people out here who monitor and manage that stuff, so we may see some penalties assessed, but unofficially, ladies and gentlemen, he drove a long way from Canada. Your champion of the 2022 Anderson Toyota Lake Havasu Classic out of Ontario, Canada, number 94, Rusty Wyatt. And in second place with a heck of a run after rebuilding that boat all night out of Houston, Texas, number 52, Chris Rinker. And a valiant effort and a note for the record books. The first time in the history of Formula One Powerboat racing, a four-stroke motor finishes on the podium in third place out of Houma, Louisiana, number 03, Dustin Terry. Finishing in fourth and hanging on, the 24 Spencer Love should have secured himself enough points to be your 2022 series champion. In fifth, the best finish for this young man on the season, the 93 of RJ West. In sixth position in the last boat on the lead lap, the number 77 of Mike Quindazzi. In seventh position, the number 91 of Kyle Maskell. And there is the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. Extremely excited is that young man. And out there, flag in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear you one more time. Give me a big round of applause. Your champion of the Anderson Toyota 2022 Lake Havasu Classic, number 94, Rusty Wyatt. Crew chief and ex-racer Mark Major, brother Ray Wyatt, everybody down here from the Crystal Clear Wiper Blades racing team, extremely excited. This was a hard-fought battle. For 2 years, they weren't able to go racing. They weren't allowed to cross the border due to the COVID-19 restrictions. The 94 of Wyatt had a seat lined up with another race team here before the pandemic, was not able to fulfill those obligations with that race team because of the COVID-19 restrictions. And now after 2 years, a huge victory for the young man out of Ontario, Canada. Hopefully we get a chance to chat with him here momentarily on the judges' stand with checkered flag in hand. He seems a little bit out of sorts, which is fair enough. This thing's been a long time coming and something he's been really working really hard to try to finally pull off, and he did it today. I'm going to hand him a headset, and we're going to have a chance to chat here. Well, congratulations, the 2022 Anderson Toyota Lake Havasu Classic champion, and you ran that thing like a gem out there.
Oh, man, it was a heck of a race, you know. Seeing Dylan go out early, that was a real bummer for him. I feel terrible for those guys. They've been killer fast all weekend. We've just been chasing down, man. We had a tough time in Texas there, so we need to rebound strong, and here we are.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You were running really well. You had some issues in the final that you just couldn't track down. You definitely didn't finish the way you wanted, but it seemed like the resolve got stronger between the entire team, and it was a mission to come here to Arizona and bring hardware back to Canada, and you guys have done just that.
Absolutely, man. I got to give this one to the crew. You guys are unbelievable, man. We went home kind of defeated, to be honest. We wanted that. I felt like we were pretty good in Texas, and with the DNF there, kind of hurt us. We usually come very prepared, and for something like that to happen isn't really like us, to be honest. So, you know, we went home and did our homework. Got PTR engines on the back. My buddy Jones Marine Design, he's been a huge part. Crystal clear heated wiper blades, man. You can't, those guys got to take the credit. I'm just driving the boat.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for those people down here probably have no idea what a crystal clear heated wiper blade is, but when you live in the tundra of the north in Canada, it gets so darn cold you got to heat up your wiper blades just so you can get the frost off your windows in the winter, eh?
Oh, let me tell you that they're a really nice product, crystal clear heated wiper blades. You wake up in the morning, you don't got any frost on your wiper blades, you can get in and go. It's a huge part to our winter. So yes, absolutely. Really happy to be here. Lake Havasu, I can't thank you guys enough for having us. All the F1 Powerboat Championship, you guys put on a heck of an event.
Right on. Well, we were very happy to hear after a 2-year forced hiatus due to COVID-19, you lost your ride with the Slack Racing in Phase 3 performance. The team, the Canucks rallied, put a boat package together. You got it down here, and what a way to wrap up your first season back in racing. You put the cherry on top. You get the 94 to the top of the podium. Boy, what a great turn of events for you and all the team. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, they hear you one more time. Put your hands together. Your champion of the Anderson Toyota 2022 Lake Havasu Classic out of Ontario, Canada, number 94, Rusty Wyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick things off with your third place finisher. He did what was necessary and might have potentially collected some extra hardware on top of this, but what a great, consistent year it was for the man finishing third out of Santa Rosa Valley, California. Running for Clover Construction, number 24, Spencer Love. Hey, there he is. All right, let's make our way over here. Are those some new digs, Spence? I like the camo.
Yeah, I know it's a new driver's suit. Me and Dustin got a couple new suits, I don't know, a couple races ago.
Right on. Well, hey, man, let's talk about it. It didn't look like you necessarily had your best stuff today, but you steered clear of all the carnage, and it seemed like that was on purpose because I know you had a lot on the line coming into this weekend.
Yeah, you know, we tried to be fairly cautious all weekend, and then going down there in the first turn, I know I bumped somebody and then almost T-boned Chris, but I don't know, the boat kept floating and kept going, and I was pretty happy about that. We lost trim halfway through the race, so I don't know, we're pretty happy with where we finished today.
Absolutely, considering no trim to end up on the podium. Now you ended up there because your teammate just loves to destroy buoys. The question is does that come out of the team pocket or does that come out of his own pocket?
That comes out of Dustin's. Yeah, no, we did bring our best stuff this weekend because I got my whole family here and a lot of close friends. That part weighs on you when you're here because too much to talk about, too much to think about. But I don't know, we did what we came to do, so.
For sure, you got inside that cockpit, you locked it in, and you drove it all the way to a podium finish and collected some huge points for that series standings. Congratulations on bringing some hardware back from Lake Havasu. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher here in the Formula One class, number 24, Spencer Love. If you would have told me this morning when I arrived to the race site at 8 a.m. that this driver would have been actually running today, I would have told you that you were crazy. Then I heard they were up till 6 o'clock in the morning. There was multiple people spending hours on end laying on their back with heat guns trying to dry epoxy and fiberglass after a wreck yesterday. Well, whatever they did, it worked. He came back from a brutal wreck yesterday, and he drove it all the way to a second spot on the podium. His first podium here on the Formula One Powerboat Championship Series, running for Rinker Boat World out of Houston, Texas, number 52, Chris, the real deal Rinker. All right, man. Well, let's. Yesterday, when you were driving that thing at about 90 miles an hour back to the boat ramps, praying to God that that motor didn't get wet, did you think you'd be here today?
Had no idea. I really didn't. Looked over and couldn't see the front pickle fork, and I was not sure I wasn't going to go down. So actually, once we made it to the trailer and I got out, we immediately started addressing it. I want to thank God for letting me have such an amazing family. Team, James Chambers, Chris Barclay, that dude worked till 6:30 this morning and sent me pictures at 5:30 of the boat done. So I mean, we all worked together till 11:30. Neil Barclay, my dad, I mean, who can follow that guy? I mean, he's a legend. So I want to thank McLean Trailers, Havasu Adventures, my team at Rinker's Boat World. I couldn't be here without them. I mean, they make my life so easy and make it to where I can bring all these people and we can have a good time. And I'm going to tell you something. Every single race team here came last night and offered help. And I want to thank y'all. That means a lot.
Absolutely it does. That is the family that is Powerboat Racing, and not only are they going to help you last night, but they're going to help celebrate you with you tonight. Get up there on that podium, well-deserved, and a heck of a run here in 2022, and we look to see more from the 52 of Chris Rinker in 2023.
Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher, number 52, Chris, the real deal Rinker. Now this next guy, maybe I got a soft spot in my heart because I basically live in Canada myself. I'm only 5 hours from the border. My mom was born and raised in Ontario, and this driver hails from Ontario, Canada. He's had a couple of years off due to nothing that he had any choice over. COVID-19 forced him to stay on his side of the border. He lost his seat with Phase 3 performance. The team got together and they said, you know what? We're going to do this Canadian style, baby. We're going to bring a bunch of Canucks down south of the border, and we're going to drag some hardware back, come heck or high water, to the great province of Ontario, and he did it this weekend. 3 weeks ago, he almost had it, and it got snatched from him. But ladies and gentlemen, now he gets to call himself a champion on the Formula One Powerboat Championship Series. Your winner of the 2022 Anderson Toyota Lake Havasu Classic, number 94, Rusty Wyatt. Oh, over there, man, in front of where you. I don't make you walk. Oh, you can just stay there for now. Well, hey, man, we had a chance to chat after you jumped out of the boat. Big hugs to your brother Ray, right? Your crew chief Mark Major, and all the rest of your team. Everybody was so excited. What does it feel like to finally get that first place trophy here on the Formula One Powerboat Championship Series?
Feels amazing. Feels amazing. We got all the family and crew here, obviously, and getting the first one on the F1 Powerboat Championship isn't easy. We've been digging for a long time, a lot of hard work, a lot of hours, and just dedication to this sport. It's finally paid off here, being on the top.
Yeah, you know, you had to start late in the season when you finally got things together after things started to clear up and the picture allowed you to really get your ducks in a row and make it back over the border. I know that there was a time where you thought that 2022 was going to be a total wash. You guys glad you made the back half of the season?
Oh, yeah. Watching everything online for 2 years and not being able to get across the border was really tough on us. And spent a lot of time with Mark there, the team owner, crew chief, and we've always had this thought of coming back. You know, I was with Slack there for a bit, but you know, he was always with me, and I'm just glad we put this crystal clear heated wiper blade team back together, and here we are, paid off. PTR engines, man. I can't thank all you guys enough.
Right on. Well, we all know the Canadians are going to be rocking tonight with that first place trophy in hand. Congratulations, sir. Well deserved. And we look forward to seeing a lot more of this in 2023.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion of the 2022 Anderson Toyota Lake Havasu Classic, number 94, Rusty Wyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, the Formula One class. I want to thank everybody for joining us here in Lake Havasu and across all our stops in 2022. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at F1 Powerboat Championships or find us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, smash that like button, share it our page. Keep in touch with all the happenings in the off season and all the great things to come for 2023. But as far as 2022 is concerned, we thank you very much for hanging out with us all spring, summer, and fall. Good night. God bless. Be safe, and we'll see you in 2023.